Hey everybody, it's Dave Taylor, Big D. Get excited. We have got a Fox 10 Talks in just about 4 minutes. So go ahead and like this YouTube stream and share it so that way your friends and family can join our Fox 10 Talks family. We've got a lot of really cool stuff. We're talking about the Texas elections that are happening today, as well as an update on the shooting yesterday of a mother to her own kids. A lot of really cool, interesting stuff. Ron Hoon and Desiree Fluellen will be on in just a second. Don't miss a minute.
It's 10 o'clock. This is Fox 10 Talks, and we do have some new details, some new information regarding the story that really the whole valley's talking about, that heartbreaking story from a street up in the northwest part of the valley called Paradise Lane. And what happened to a family just, I think, sends shudders through parents everywhere. It's really quite unbelievable, but now we've learned a lot more about that case. If you didn't follow the news yesterday, there was a woman who tried to shoot her husband at a nearby bar, missed him, shot the lady he was with, then went home and shot her kids, and then shot herself. Well, we do know more about it. We are going to be talking about it today on Fox 10 Talks. Also today, we are going to take you live in about 15 minutes to Texas, to our sister station in Austin. Look, there's a high-stakes vote today in Texas to determine who's going to be the GOP representative in the U.S. Senate race, and the Senate looks really close right now. So are they going to go with the guy who's been tried and true for many years there in Texas, or are they going to go for the new challenger who did, just the last couple of weeks, get an endorsement from President Trump? It's a fascinating race, and it really will test the power of a Donald Trump endorsement. We're also going to be talking to the man, he calls himself the walking guy, and he has literally walked thousands and thousands of miles. The big question, of course, is why, but I'm also really curious to find out what were some of his favorite places on Earth, and what were some of his favorite stories along the way. And then the meteor did not hit a volcano. Didn't hit a volcano. What it did do looks like it hit a volcano, and that's coming up as well. So in the next couple of minutes, Desiree's going to be joining us. Celeste off for one more day. And this is Fox 10 Talks, the friendliest chat online. We love reading your comments. Hello to everybody saying hi this morning. A lot of folks watch us on Fox 10 TV or on the Fox local app, but still go to YouTube to join all the commentary because it's a great bunch of people, that is for sure. Let me also roll out our poll question for you. What's your prediction for November? This totally dovetails into this interview we've got coming up in Texas in just a few minutes. 31% say Democrats are going to take over Congress. It's an off-year election. That's the way it usually rolls. Voters will be fed up with the president by then. But 68% predict Republicans will hold on to one or the other, or maybe both, of the House and Senate. You got a third option there, which is it really depends on which way gas prices go. So you can grab that QR code and let us know what you think. All right, let's get on to the story this morning that certainly has an awful lot of people talking. And it has to do with the story coming in where police say that a mother opened fire at a bar before then, as we had told you a little bit earlier, all the violence that went down inside this home. Our Nicole Christine did put a report together on it. Here that is.
Please pray for these babies. They didn't deserve it.
Loved ones overwhelmed with grief after police say 38-year-old Andrea Davis shot and killed her 10-year-old son, her 18-month-old daughter, and then herself in their home early Monday morning.
They didn't deserve it. They still had a whole life ahead of them, and it's not fair.
The larger community shocked by this gruesome crime.
It was useless, senseless, and then for her to go home and kill her kids and herself, it all could have been avoided.
It's terrible what happened.
Like today was a big surprise. Like I say, it's a really nice, quiet neighborhood, and we're surprised about this.
Police say this case spans two cities. The first call coming into Glendale police for a reported shooting in a commercial parking lot along Bell Road. They found a woman shot in the head who was expected to survive, and a man later identified by family as Nolan Davis, who said his wife was the one who shot at the pair. He then shared more disturbing news with police.
He was receiving text messages from his wife informing him that she was going to harm their children.
Phoenix PD arrived to the home along Paradise Lane to find Andrea and the two kids shot to death.
I don't know if there would be a motive that would even be acceptable for something like this.
One Valley woman sharing with Fox 10, she had previously taught the older child, Austin, saying she's beside herself and that Austin did not deserve this. Nolan's family asking for prayers for all involved.
Please pray that she finds some kind of healing up there, and those babies are dancing on the sky, like dancing on the clouds.
It just is still so horrible, Desiree, to contemplate everything that went down. But now we have the details. A little 1.5-year-old daughter, little toddler, and then her son just 10 years old. As you can sense the emotion on the part of anybody who knew them, anybody who lived in that neighborhood, and there's not a lot more to say in this particular case that you can say, because it's unfathomable.
Yeah, incomprehensible, really. I mean, as more of those details came out yesterday after we got reports of what happened and, started to learn more of the situation that was actually unfolding, it's just devastating.
Yeah.
That someone felt that was the only way to handle whatever it was that they were going through, and to take their lives just that soon in life is just...
Yeah.
What more can you say?
That family's life just turned upside down for everybody, indeed. There is another story that we've been following. Do you see this fellow right here? This is him with his IA, as we call it, his initial court appearance. He's the guy who was shot by Glendale police last week. Now, he's been charged with kidnapping and aggravated assault. His name is Darren Howard. And this, you might remember, this was the story. He showed up at 63rd Avenue and Bell Road, coincidentally not very far from where this other story unfolded. He was there to buy a gun, but the woman who was with him basically whispered to the storekeeper there that she needed help, and would he call 911, and he did. And you can imagine the anxious moments there waiting, and the police did arrive. And at that point, now we learned he grabbed the lady and held a knife to her, and that's why officers opened fire. So they are moving forward with this particular case that unfolded, and we did promise we would get you additional details whenever they came in, and so there you go. Another story to tell you about, and as I've talked about this freeway a lot, the SR-24 is surely one of the strangest highways in our state. The plan is to make it a full-on freeway, but for now it has stoplights on it. It's not like I don't believe people go super fast on this road because it's so clogged up. There have been so many homes built in Queen Creek and in Apache Junction, and so people use this particular roadway a lot. It turned out there was a pretty bad crash last night out there at about the 24 in Signal Butte.
Yeah, you were saying yesterday why that roadway has those lights there.
Yeah.
Like it really is kind of just like a temporary solution or situation until they are, ADOT can get to that part of their project.
And so, I filed it away yesterday because yesterday it was I might have been a 15-passenger van, but there were 10 passengers inside this one van right by, because this also goes right by the
airport, right?
The Mesa Gateway Airport. And so there was a bad crash 24 hours earlier that impacted all those people. Several of them, I think, had to go to the hospital. But here we go again. So I think we'll make plans there is a long-term plan to fix it, but, and ADOT has, let's face it, there's 5 million people in the valley. They got plenty of roads they could be working on. But I think they have a plan to try to improve it here just over the next maybe 2 to 3 years.
Good. Well, hopefully we'll see, you know, when they're able to get that done. But yeah, just unfortunate we've had a few incidents out there.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so the pictures out of Sedona. By the way, yesterday I was at Sonic.
Oh.
It was, I'm not trying to brag, but yeah, I was at Sonic.
What'd you get?
Bag of ice.
That's it?
Yes.
Okay.
I will go to Sonic about once a week to get a big old bag of ice. Mm-hmm. It's $3. Mm-hmm. But they have the best ice on the planet.
Is it the tiny little like pebbles?
The little nugget ice.
Yeah, I bought an ice machine.
Did you really?
I did.
Does it work? Do you like it?
I love it.
Really?
Yeah.
How long ago?
It was a surprise from David a few Christmases ago.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
Yeah,
okay.
I love it.
I can't believe that's
kind
never...
of my splurge.
Yeah, I feel like we talk about everything. I can't believe that's never crossed my radar screen with you.
Because I'm addicted to that ice. And
okay.
My husband doesn't understand it either. I'm like, it makes whatever you're drinking taste better.
Yeah.
Like...
Oh, no, I'm so jealous.
Yeah. Okay, so I didn't know you can get a big bag for $3. That's
so anyway, I live right by a Sonic, but the winds were really howling.
Yeah.
I noticed that, and I thought, gosh, I wonder if we're going to get some more rain. Mm-hmm. Well, we never did yesterday in Mesa. I don't know about Chandler.
No, we didn't. Nope.
But did you see the pictures of the rain in Sedona? Oh, my goodness. I love this. There's a cool smell in the desert when it starts to rain. And I remember moving here over 40 years ago, and the first time that I smelled a desert rain, and I just sort of fell in love with it. But boy, Sedona yesterday looked pretty cool. Now, this is what it looked like when the rain came down. But then they also had some hail there. And I love this picture so much. Okay, so this is, Des, this is not a snowman.
No.
It's a hail man. Mm-hmm. So they took all the hail, and this picture, by the way, is from Mia Buller. We have so many great viewers who just decide to share their images with us.
Yeah, we do.
Don't you love this?
Yeah, I was actually impressed by how much they actually got.
Yeah.
I mean, enough to create that nice little pile of a hail man there. Yeah, and then with the flag, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Des, did you call it a hail man? You just did.
Did I?
Yeah. Was that accidental?
I probably was.
Because you normally call it how.
I know.
I know. We talk about this.
I know.
How.
Every time that word comes up in a story, you guys, I just internally I start to freak out. I don't know what is with my A's, but half the time I don't even hear it. I don't hear that I say it that way at all.
Well, you said it that way now. It may have been accidental, but hey, it was.
I was nervous saying it. I was thinking about avoiding it altogether, honestly.
Anyway, congrats to Mia and her family for creating, as far as we know, the only hail man in Arizona yesterday.
Nice.
Coming up next, President Trump. Well, he's just about batting 1,000 on his endorsements. Is it going to work again? We're just 2 minutes away from taking it live to Texas. Boy, is this a big race with the Senate hanging in the balance. We'll be right back. That's kind of a pretty lonely dock today, Des. I don't know. Do people not want to go out and go fishing? What's happening here?
I guess not. Yeah. Maybe they're back to work. Maybe the folks in that town, they
right?
work.
Yeah, we got a whole summer to get out there and go
Job to
fishing.
do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. That's a preview of the
Maybe
mystery
they were
camp.
yesterday, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Hey, really looking forward to this. Big D comes up to me yesterday, Des, our producer, our executive producer, Dave Taylor. You guys all know Big D. And he said, hey, Austin is offering us one of their top reporters to talk about this big political race, which, you know me, I'm a kind of political nerd.
Yeah, of course.
I'm like, done.
Yeah.
Let's book
You're
it
like,
right
book it.
now.
Book Alec Nolan.
And so Alec is right here. Now, this is cool, Alec. You have a setup kind of like us with that really styling microphone. Oh, perfect. But we can't hear it.
Hang on, we can't hear you.
I love the microphone, but have we checked his audio?
Clearly,
yet?
he can hear us because
Yeah.
he was telling us about that cool mic he's got.
Hold on. Testing 1 2 3. 1 2 3. All right. We stand by, Alec.
Might be on our end, Alec. We'll figure it out.
We will. We will get you the full. I feel like I'm hearing like a rainstorm off in the distance. Like there's some other audio.
Yeah, or it sounds like white noise, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, we just slacked you our cell number, Alec. So go ahead and just give us a call. And we'll figure it out. We can grab an engineer and get him over here too. So we solve problems around here.
Yeah.
It's a
We'll
streaming
figure it
show,
out.
Des. What are we going to do?
That's why you're here.
Yeah.
You want to see all the behind the scenes stuff. So we'll work on that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, we are live every day. Let's talk a little bit about some of the other big stories that are happening, including what's going on with Iran. Now, I don't know about you, Des, but we have seen this movie over and over and over. It sounds like we're getting closer on a peace deal. And then the next thing you know, Iran does something, and the peace talks fall apart. This is like the third or fourth time. So the whole weekend when the president was tweeting, we're getting close on a deal, we're 95% there, I'm like, I don't know if you should put that out.
Right.
Because Iran will do something. And then we heard that they had 2 boats that were out laying mines. And so the U.S. struck those 2 boats, at which point Iran fired missiles at our forces, at which point we fired back and took out their missile batteries. So here we are again.
So there you go.
Anyway.
And yet we're still trying to work out a peace deal,
Yeah, it
which
was highly-
ultimately is where I think we all want it to be settled,
Yeah,
right?
highly
And to,
predictable.
bring an end to this war already,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay, by the way, that'll be our poll question a little bit later. What's your prediction for what's going to be happening in November? And actually, that dovetails, I think, perfectly into what Alec is going to be talking to us about now from our sister station out there. If you haven't been following this race, let me tell you, it is utterly fascinating. So, Alec, let's talk about this. What did the polls look like? Because I know you've been following this closely for quite a while. What did the polls look like before President Trump made his endorsement?
Yeah, I think this was a race that was pretty neck and neck. We knew in March when the voting came out, Cornyn obviously took that, but didn't get the 50% because Wesley Hunt was in the race. So we figured once Wesley Hunt was out, all of those voters would go into Paxton's camp. Of course, there's some momentum now because last week President Trump endorsed Ken Paxton. And I think part of that reason was because he wanted to wait and make sure that he thought Paxton was going to win, sort of look like a kingmaker here. And I also think he needed Cornyn to keep fighting for legislation in the Senate as well. But this is pretty neck and neck. I mean, you're looking at a ±3 here. The urban voting has been outpacing. Our chief political reporter, Rudy Koski, has been talking about only a quarter of the voters, of the registered voters, voted in March. So if people come out and actually play the game, this could certainly decide it. But all of those people who were already in Paxton's camp, I'm not sure if President Trump coming in and endorsing him essentially flipped anybody. They were going to vote for him anyway. That is the MAGA base.
Okay, well, let's talk about in that earlier election, the reason nobody got to 50% is there was that third candidate. And I'm trying to remember his name, but I believe he got
Hunt,
Wesley Hunt. And I think he got close to 14%, something like that. Those voters potentially could decide this.
Yeah, and that's what we had figured out all along is even though Cornyn, it looked like he was winning and, okay, he's going to take this, but he's going to go to a runoff. All of those in the Wesley Hunt camp going over to Paxton. But it's really interesting because what you have here is an institutional Republican and John Cornyn, somebody who's been a senator 4 terms, going for a 5th term, versus what I believe is not even so much a Republican candidate in Ken Paxton, but Trump calling him a true MAGA warrior. So this is really institutional Republican versus what many would deem a MAGA warrior, whatever that may mean to you. But Ken Paxton certainly has baggage. He's deemed as a quote fighter. People seem to like that, but very morally corrupt to many people. And John Cornyn is the guy that's been around for a long time. So I think this is a litmus test for what the GOP party is going to look like come the November election. And this will, in my opinion, really shed light on a lot of other races and the direction of the Republican Party.
Yeah, and if we have people not following this race closely, kind of explain the difference between these two candidates here, Ken Paxton and John Cornyn. How are they different?
Yeah, John Cornyn's been a senator since 2002. He was also the Texas Attorney General, which is what Ken Paxton is right now. And John Cornyn's been around a long time. I think a lot of people know who Ted Cruz is. Obviously, he's got a podcast. He's very popular on social media, the run for president, all that. John Cornyn has been there longer than Ted Cruz and has been fighting as a conservative Republican this entire time. But he's more so, I would say, quiet, sort of a guy that's just going in and getting the job done. If you look at his social media, he's been fighting for the last 14 months to sort of prove that, hey, I'm not just this regular institutional Republican. I am for President Trump. I mean, posting a picture of him reading The Art of the Deal. He'll have pictures of him and President Trump. This new ad campaign they just released, he's wearing a cowboy hat and saying I was big on border security. So he's trying to prove, like, I'm not a rhino. That's been the criticism against him. Republican in name only, which doesn't make any sense. Ken Paxton, on the other hand, Attorney General, as I said, a lot of moral questions here. His wife, a state senator, Angela Paxton, filing for divorce in July on biblical grounds. Reports coming out that he was cheating on his wife, an extramarital affair. Then he was impeached here in Texas, and then he was saved by the state Senate. A similar situation that we saw with Donald Trump. And Ken Paxton aligns himself with Donald Trump and saying, hey, I'm a fighter. The system was against me. And look, I've made it out through. So it's very much a MAGA personality on the Ken Paxton side versus the old school GOP.
Let me ask you about a theory here. I haven't heard this anywhere. It just popped into my head. But what if the MAGA base, has already been with Ken Paxton all the way? That's where he almost beat Cornyn in the primary, and there aren't a lot more MAGA voters to pick off. Therefore, he may be sort of capped at his number, and it could still turn out to be a very close race tonight.
Yeah, I think you're completely right. Those who were already in the MAGA base, they didn't need President Trump to come in and endorse him. I think it built some momentum, and I think President Trump wants to align himself with somebody who wins to say, look, I mean, you guys know this in Arizona, him backing Carrie Lake, and then she eventually, wins that primary. He wants to be made to seem like, hey, I back these people win, I pick winners. But to your point, I think they were already decided. Now, Cornyn, because of this endorsement, has really ratcheted up his efforts. And if people come out to vote, as I said, those that were maybe on the fence, think about this. If you're a Republican, but you're anti-Trump, and we know there are people out there that are like that, you are more likely to vote for Cornyn because you just don't want anything to do with Donald Trump, but you can still be considered a Republican.
It's going to be fascinating. We'll be watching. I'm sure I'll be up late tonight. Des, I'm sure you will be too.
Yeah, I'll let you stay up. I'll get the Cliff Notes from you in the morning.
Your whole goal at night is to get all 4 of your kids to bed.
Yeah, the goal is to get everyone to bed on time. But Alec, thanks for breaking that down, though, between the two. That was pretty insightful there, the differences and what to look for in this primary here.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Alec. Okay, he was great.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it could still be a close race. We'll find out tonight.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
And gosh, we didn't even get a chance to talk about the Democrat that's in the race, Tallarico. We'll do that maybe once we know who's going to be going up against him.
Yeah.
Let's do this, Des. Let's go to our poll question. It looks like this right now. What's your prediction for November, particularly with this Texas Senate race being one of the closest, they think, come November. Anyway, about 30% say Democrats will take over Congress. Traditionally, that's what you'd expect. 70% say Republicans will hold on to one or the other, maybe both. And 1% say it all depends on the gas prices.
And then on YouTube here, we've got 593 votes, give or take. 50% are saying Democrats are going to take over Congress, that voters are fed up with Trump. 38% of voters here think Republicans will hold on to either the House or Senate, maybe both of them. We'll see. 12% say it all depends on gas prices. GOP might win if they drop below $3.
Let's do this. Let's do a poll queue re-queue. I love our poll queue re-queues, Des.
Yeah, let's do it.
Mostly because it rhymes.
That too.
But
That's a good name.
Yesterday's polling got would you look at that? 8,000 votes.
Wow.
Should the Supreme Court uphold President Trump's order ending birthright citizenship? Now, our YouTube poll is out there in the whole world, so everybody can vote. 53% say, yeah, it's encouraged illegal immigration. 35% say, no, the 14th Amendment allows it, so keep it in place. In other words, if somebody comes here illegally but they have a baby, then that baby gets to be an American citizen. And 12% say keep it and in the harassment of immigrants here legally or otherwise. And then on the TV side, Des, it ran about the same, I guess.
Yeah, 75% saying yes. You know, it's encouraged illegal immigration for decades. 22% here. No, the 14th Amendment allows it, and 3% say keep it and the harassment of immigrants here legally or not.
Okay, so here's what we got planned for you coming up in 2 minutes after the break. Big D with your comments. Yeah?
Yes, Dave is tracking those. So we're going to sift through that and see what you guys have to say. We love hearing from you and getting your reaction on these topics.
Also, we're going to answer the question, why did Des almost cry when she went to a hot dog restaurant the other day?
Oh, no.
True story, right?
The whole almost meltdown.
Oh.
What could it have been?
Oh, boy, that's next. But first, the mystery camp. 10:30, you are hanging out with Ron and Des, and this is Fox 10 Talks. And so, let's see, Des. Look, everybody's like Thomas is,
wow,
good morning,
good
outlaw. Deborah's saying the same thing. And then Burger Boy is saying, I'm going with Tennessee. Oh, there goes one boat just off to the right, way down the river. Finally, we see some movement. Mm-hmm. But we're all over the board on the guesses.
Yeah,
right?
really. I know. Thomas is going, no, this is Maryland. So that's quite different than Tennessee.
Yeah.
Louis Gonzalez, Minnesota. Mm-hmm. They're also talking about food, too, which that's like distracting me a little. Like it all sounds good. Charcuterie board.
Okay,
B. Miguel, Louisiana.
Okay, Thomas has changed his mind. He says it's Guadalajara.
Oh, okay.
And let's see. Raider AZ is saying, give me Texas for the win. What are you going to go with, Des?
Oof. My goodness. I want to say somewhere in Louisiana.
There's something about that sandy beach that really has me thinking about it. All right, so you're going Louisiana. I will go... a lot of people are guessing Tennessee. I guess I'll go Tennessee. Thomas, I think it might be the Bronx.
The Bronx.
You guys are hilarious.
Oh, it's...
Here we go.
How do you say that? Is it Baudette?
Let's go ahead and turn.
Baudette?
It's Minnesota? Is that right? Who guessed Minnesota? That was Louis.
Yeah, Louis.
Louis out there in the beautiful Gila Valley. Good job, Louis. There's one more
Was
look.
that just pure luck, Louis, or did you really know?
And last year, I chose Minnesota as my state to drive around for a whole week, and I really loved it. I went to a Minnesota Twins game at the ballpark, at the Target Field. I explored all the Prince murals in downtown Minneapolis, because that's, of course, was his headquarters. Mm-hmm. Went all the way up to Duluth, but I never did see Baudette. All right. Mm-hmm. Thank you for hanging out with us this morning.
Well, you'll have to add that to the list then when you take your trip.
Baudette.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but see, one state every year, that's going to be 49 years from now, so we'll see what happens.
Hey, you might have to speed up the timeline a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, okay, so that's how calm it looks there today, which is great for them. On the other hand, did you see Lake Pleasant yesterday?
Oh, wild.
I mean, at one point, it was like there were white caps out there, Des. Mm-hmm. Look, there's one guy on a jet ski, and there's a second guy on a jet ski, and everybody else is like, what are we even doing here?
I know. Well, some people stuck it out. I mean, they're still out on the water trying to have, make the most of the day. But could you imagine riding a jet ski on these choppy waters?
No.
Ooh, dangerous, but also maybe a little fun, if you were still, doing it safely, of course. But yeah, look at the boats. They're just rocking.
Yeah.
They did have to cancel the paddle boards rental because the waters were just so choppy.
Sure.
And we spoke to someone out on the lake. If you guys were watching the show this morning, he was hilarious. He said something like, I don't know, I can still wiggle and jiggle and get down with it or something. So he still wanted to give it a go. But a lot of folks decided to either pack up early, because, by the time you make it out there and you bring all that, all your items, it's a lot of work. So you're going to try and stick it out. But, yeah, people started to turn around or head home early.
And then you got those 4-pole tents.
Look at, just bad in the wind.
Yeah. And you got to have designated pole holders.
Yeah.
Because you don't want your thing to fly away.
No. I saw a tent, and this is kind of like off.
There's the white caps.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I wanted everybody to see.
There's some tent I found on Amazon that claims it's windproof. I wonder if that's accurate.
Really?
That would have been a good day to test it out there.
Yeah, it would have been.
On Lake Pleasant.
Request your money back.
I'm like, how can it be windproof?
Yeah.
It is shaped kind of weird with a lot of flat sides. But
are you on good terms with both your neighbors, both to the left and to the right? I mean, if you bought it and you test it in a windstorm and it lands in their yard, is everything going to be fine?
Yeah, the one neighbor, it's so odd. They're never home.
Oh? Huh.
And then, the other neighbors to the other. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Yeah. But no one comes out of their house in Arizona. I think it's so weird. I actually was just talking about this with my mom the other day.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're so stuck in the house here.
True.
I mean, I get it in the summer, it's hot.
Right.
But I'm like, even me and my kids, we're in the pool all summer, and we don't really hear anyone else around us in their pool.
And
what's going on?
You know, the funny thing is we all get so excited about rain. However, I really got to feel for these guys.
This is
was
terrible. This story
right?
coming out of Franklin, Tennessee.
Yeah.
These high school graduates, right? You sit here and you look forward to this day, not just the last 4 years of your life, but you're dreaming about your high school graduation well before you even get to high school. And then unfortunately, this is what they were met with. This school knew the risk of inclement weather, and they still decided to have their ceremonies outside.
Yeah.
And I was looking at this post. I don't know where it came through on my Instagram feed yesterday, but it did say a lot of the parents were pretty upset about this.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think I would be too. I mean, you can say it'll make for a really memorable graduation.
True, yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
I just feel like they deserved more. Think about how excited you are to get ready, to do your hair and pick that outfit out,
right,
and now your cap and gown, and your degrees are wet. Your degree is soaking wet.
Now that I think about it, I think I got a haircut before my graduation.
See?
You
got ready in some form or fashion, right? It's a big day.
The plus would be, Des, maybe it sped things along. Have you been to a high school graduation lately?
I don't know. I'm just thinking, well, my kids aren't of it. Well, I was just thinking, if I were at a ceremony and I had my kids, like Demi and the baby, and we're just getting soaking wet, I wouldn't be happy.
Well, my kids went to Mountain View High School in Mesa, and the graduating classes were close to 1,000. And I'm like, well, this is like a telethon. We're going to be here till midnight before everybody gets there. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe if it sped it up.
Yeah, you were like, all right, let's go. Just hand those babies out.
Okay, you guys. Yeah, right. You guys are going to love this. The other week, Celeste and I debuted Learn Something New.
Oh.
And so now that Des is hosting, Celeste is out today. We have a brand new graphic.
Okay.
With Des and me in the laboratory.
Yeah, that graphics department working hard.
Yeah, we are. I'm going to unveil it for you right now. Okay, give me your instant reaction, Des.
This is my first time seeing it.
This is you and me as sort of scientists, very learned people learn new things.
Oh.
There we are.
I love this.
Do you?
Wow.
Look, it's you and me and the robots.
That AI Desiree looks good.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you know how AI does some really funky things sometimes?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, I like this a lot, Ron.
So here's what we are. Good, I'm glad. Here's today's topic, if you're ready for it. Hang on here, I got to just make sure I got the right video. So, it's all about lightning. Okay, so June is here in just a few more days, and that will mean the monsoon, and that means lightning strikes. Look at that one right there. So, Des, here's your first question, and I'll give you a hint. I have two questions.
Okay.
If we have a typical wet monsoon season, about how many lightning strikes would hit our state during the course of the whole monsoon? And I'm going to give you, it's less than 500,000, less than 500,000. Because one storm can be literally tens of thousands of lightning strikes.
Right.
All right, what do you think?
I'll say if it's a typical monsoon season.
Yeah, less than 500.
Okay. 265,000.
Well, can you be more specific? Would you say 265,813?
Yes, 265,813.
I wish that was the exact answer. You're like fishing around for the exact answer. The answer is somewhere, but I would have accepted anything from 300 to 400,000.
Oh, okay. Darn.
By the way, one lightning strike has about as much energy. This blew my mind. Has about as much energy as 80 million car batteries. I can't even fathom that.
Wait, so how can we bottle up the energy from lightning?
I'm so glad you asked. In fact, get this. I said to myself, Des is going to ask, how can we bottle it up?
How can we use that?
Turns out 3 scientists tried in Switzerland, like a long time ago, close to 100 years ago. They took a 2,000-foot-long cable. They strung it up across this deep mountain valley where they get a lot of lightning, and it really never worked. The problem is, yeah, there's a lot of energy, but it comes and goes in a millisecond. And so it's just, electricity needs like a constant source that goes kind of like this, not boom, and then it's done. So,
yeah, that is
true,
but
it
right. Or it's like, how do you, I'm not smart enough for this, but how do you, in the second that it strikes, somehow like bottle it and feed it with something else to like keep it going? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, okay, so
maybe it can't be done.
Here's your second question. What was the longest lightning bolt ever recorded in American history? I'm going to give you another
longest.
option.
Like, how is it measured?
In
is
miles.
Like miles.
In miles. I will tell you this: it's more than 100 miles. One lightning bolt that literally stretched across the sky.
Oh gosh.
Ready?
800?
That's actually not too bad. The answer is over 500 miles long. Blows my mind. 515.
I was thinking 500, but then I thought maybe it's even more impressive than that. It's got to be.
No, it's good. We weren't playing Prices Right. Doesn't matter. You can be close. You can go over, whatever.
Go over. Okay.
515 miles.
Wow.
And so if you do the calculations on that, that's about one lightning bolt from here to El Paso.
Wow.
So that's
So how are they
one.
measured? How do they measure them?
Oh, I don't know. They have some sort of graph or something. I don't know. I'm sure Crystal would know the answer to that.
Yeah, she probably would know.
But anyway, the monsoon will be here before you know it. It was kind of crazy the last couple of days with the rain we got. It felt like a monsoon kind of sky, and I thought that was so cool. So anyway, look, it's time for a break, but we are going to explain to you next why Des was brought to tears by a hot dog place.
Yes.
And then we are going to be talking to the walking guy. He walked thousands and thousands of miles around the world. What did he love? What were maybe some of his favorite stories along the way?
Yeah. The incredible journey. Could you imagine?
I wonder how many pairs of tennis shoes.
Yeah, that's a good question.
We got a lot of questions for him
too, right?
Okay.
If folks want to get into walking,
yeah,
help us out.
They call him the walking guy.
Oh, I can't wait to hear about his experience.
All right, that's coming up.
Wonder if he walked here.
Oh, by the way, also a viewer voicemail about one of our great reporters and her beautiful hair. Where does she get it done? We're covering it all. All right, everybody, welcome back. 10:45. We are live, unless you're watching us on the replay on YouTube. And you know who we haven't heard from yet? Is Big
Dave.
D. Yeah, let's go to him. He's been looking at the poll question this morning, predictions for November.
That's right. A lot of people are fired up about November, and as you can probably guess, they're on opposite sides. So Frank Medina in Flagstaff says Trump is absolutely the worst president ever. He has not honored any of his promises regarding no wars, lower prices. JJ in Phoenix says Republicans need to hold the line. The Democratic Party is not what it used to be 40 years ago. They have a different agenda, and it's not for the people. And Thomas Brown, 7820, says if you're basing your vote on the price of gas dropping below $3 with all that's going on in this country and the world, then we're in trouble as a nation. Really interesting comments. Keep them coming, guys.
Okay, thank you, Dave. By the way, we have this video. We did want to get to it here. We call it The Meteor and the Volcano. It looks like a meteor is almost hitting a volcano. This was in the Philippines, but it's more of an optical illusion. But they've got that big volcano, and this is in it's a Mayan volcano. Philippine Institute of Volcanology captured the image yesterday. They did want to point out it didn't hit the volcano, but it sure looked like it off in the distance. Pretty cool stuff, right?
Yeah, amazing that you see both of those things at the same time. Yeah.
Hey, we're looking forward to talking to Eric. Eric Bortstein is the walking guy, ladies and gentlemen, and he joins us this morning. In fact, where are you now? Are you done walking for right now, Eric? What's happening?
I haven't walked yet.
For the day.
For the day.
Do you still go out and try to get 10,000 steps a day or what?
I average about 13 to 15 miles a day.
Wow.
13 to 15 miles a day?
Yeah.
That's so great.
How long does that take you?
I break it up, but I'm lucky. I've been able to dedicate this chapter of my life to my health and the walking not only has saved my life, but has become just this amazing way of raising awareness.
When did you start it? And give us some, just kind of the facts and figures, total amount of miles, total number of either states or countries, all of that.
Yeah. So 5.5 years ago, I collapsed in a bedroom here at home and was taken to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles, where I spent 16 days in the intensive care unit. I had collapsed from severe right ventricular heart failure and was diagnosed with a very rare terminal disease called pulmonary arterial hypertension, a disease with no cure. I spent 16 days in the ICU and came home and started to walk. The walking, a mile turned into 2, turned into 3, and eventually, I was put on a pump. Eventually, I was taken off the pump, and I learned very early on that walking not only helped mitigate the difficult side effects of the medications that I was put on, and I'm still on today, but helps with positive mental health. And it's just been an incredible journey.
How would you describe yourself before being diagnosed with PAH? Were you relatively, positive before, or how have you seen a shift by walking, and why your mental state has helped you, basically recover in a sense, or live with this?
I was athletic growing up, but one of the messages that I like to share is that I was sick in probably the 2 years leading up to collapsing, and avoiding my health almost cost me my life. And one of the messages is, don't avoid going to the doctor when you're sick. But as I started to progress in my recovery, I learned that not only mitigating the side effects of the medication, but walking started to make me feel better mentally. And, living with a chronic disease, or really, anybody facing their own form of adversity, finding something you love to do really helps with positive mental health. And for me, that's walking. And, I talk to a psychologist once a week. I have ever since I left the ICU. And I started to ask questions, and I started to ask why walking made me feel better. And, for a bunch of reasons, but, another message that I really like to share is everybody in their life will be hit by that proverbial 2x4, whether they have or they will. They're going to face their own form of adversity. And when you do, find something you love to do. And for me, that's walking. For somebody else, it may be playing the classic guitar or swimming or cooking, whatever it is. Find something you love to do, and that will help a lot.
So did you walk mostly kind of in your area, or did you do a few cross-country type walks? How did you actually pull it off?
Yeah, so again, I average about 13 to 15 miles a day. Most of the walks are in my neighborhood, but now we started about 2 years ago. We started a movement called Where is EB? My family, and it's a fundraiser that we do here in Los Angeles. It's a 5K in Santa Monica, and that culminates with me walking from LA to San Diego. It's 205 miles in 6.5 days. And it's just become an amazing way to raise awareness and raise money for a nonprofit called Team Phenomenal Hope, who helps provide assistance for underserved patients living with the disease that I live with, PAH.
Okay. Well, if people want to either donate to that or just learn more about your story, should they go to social? Is there a website? What's the easiest way to connect?
Yeah, one other thing that I really like to highlight is the importance of my village, and CVS Specialties become a major part of that village. And they can go to cvshealth.com, they can go to whereiseb.org, or they can follow me on social media at whereiseb and follow me along the way and watch my walks and just watch all the amazing things that I'm doing for this very rare disease.
Well, you're an inspiration, that's for sure.
Wow, 14,500 miles.
Wow.
Probably, and more, right?
Okay.
About 5,000 miles a year now, yeah.
Wow.
Amazing.
Incredible.
Way to go, Eric.
Thanks.
Okay. Wow, what a highlight. Got to go check that out for sure on social media. So, Des, why did you cry? No, wait, you almost cried. You didn't actually shed a tear, right?
No, not there.
At the hot dog place?
Yeah.
What, later?
Well,
What?
I just was kind of emotional, I guess, when I got the kids in the car.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah.
And the reason is that you love this hot dog place because it takes you right back to growing up.
Yeah, I think, lately I'm feeling a little homesick. I'm pretty open with you guys. So, David, we've had quite the year, right? Going through police academy and his schedule, my schedule, and taking care of the kids. And I took them Friday myself to the opening of Ted's in Chandler, and it was just incredible. We'll roll the video, and then I'll tell you why I got a little emotional.
Check this out.
Right, ready? Thank you. Yeah, so they just had a good time. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it has the music and everything. It kind of brought it to life. But yeah, that was just the grand opening there in Chandler. And I don't know, I felt like it's so silly because it is, just a place to eat, grab a hot dog, a burger, and fries or whatnot.
Right.
But I legitimately grew up in those booths as a kid with my family. My grandma would take me to Ted's after picking me up from school. She was a school bus driver. So sometimes I would end up being picked up in her bus, and then she would take me to get something to eat. And Grandma loved a hot dog with nothing on it, and I thought it was the oddest thing, but that was her thing. And yeah, so I just grew up there as a kid, and it just felt surreal, like this, this spot from my childhood in my hometown is now in a town where I live, and I'm raising my kids, and where my husband serves as a police officer. So it was just kind of like, just like very sentimental. I'm like, even though we're, sitting there eating hamburgers and hot dogs, but it was just cool to see my kids in the booth at Ted's.
So
and they have great food.
Where in Chandler?
Where's the new location? Right at Germain and Queen Creek.
Okay.
That area.
A lot happening right around there.
Yeah, so you get off right on the 202, and you're right there. You can get off at if you're coming down the 202, right at Gilbert, I think.
So great.
Yeah. So.
The only thing that comes out of my hometown of Wenatchee is applets and cotlets. Have you ever heard of this little
What is
dessert
that?
called applets and cotlets?
No.
Okay. Well, you can find them in a few locations. But I remember the first time I found them here in the Valley. I'm like, a little slice of home. It comes from a little town just outside of Wenatchee called Cashmere. And they're like fruit with walnuts. They're just little treats, and they're dusted with sugar.
Yum.
And when we were like in 6th grade, we would all go on field trips and get samples and that kind of thing. And Neil, did you ever hear of applets
Never
and
heard of that. I'll try it, though. I like
grew up in
apples.
Kennewick, 100 miles away. He never heard of them. So no wonder the Buffalo girl didn't hear about
Well,
them.
make it for us.
Make them?
Yeah.
I'll buy some.
Okay, buy
I'll go try
some.
'em.
We'll taste
Yeah.
test it. All right, cool. And
Okay.
yes, it is Jermaine and Gilbert. I just wanted to make sure I got that right. So Jermaine
Okay.
and Gilbert.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a viewer voicemail. Listen to this.
Hello. Love your show. Such refreshing energy with a cup of coffee. Love it. Love to start my day with you each and every day. Just thought I'd give you that shout out. My name is Cindy, giving you a call here from Chandler. And my question is who does Danielle's hair? Love her blonde, and I'm looking for a blonde person that does blonde highlights. And her hair looks gorgeous. So if you can shout out or tell me on the air who is her hairstylist, a shout out to her hairstylist, does great highlights. So, again, this is Cindy looking to find out who does Danielle's hair, that beautiful blonde highlights. Thank you, and have a blessed day.
Oh, my
Bye-bye
gosh.
for now.
That's so great.
Cool.
And here she is. She just
Beautiful.
posted this on IG the other day. And I asked her, and she said it's a place called Seven Salon in Mesa.
There you go.
How about that?
Look, you can really ask us anything.
And
That's amazing.
Alicia does her hair there. And so, yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
We answer all
And I
questions
get
on
it.
viewer voicemail.
It's hard for us ladies to find a trusted hairstylist.
Sure.
So
Now, if you want to know where I
she's
get my
got her
hair
answer.
cut, I'm happy to
Yes.
answer those kind of questions.
You know what? No, we don't want to know about your $20 haircut.
All right,
because
fine.
all us women are salty about it.
But we can answer any question you want. The sky's the limit. 602-262-0428. We'll answer your viewer voicemails tomorrow.
Oh, Thomas Brown. I love that in the chat. Your wife is from Buffalo. Amazing. Go check out the new Ted's location.
Welcome on in. Fox 10 Talks continues now at 11 a.m.
For a
jam-packed show.
Jam-packed show on a Tuesday.
All right, we have our first guest waiting in the wings on Zoom. We have Stephen Cates, and we're talking about housing, the housing market.
Hi, Stephen.
Good morning, Stephen. How are you?
Good morning. How are you doing?
We're doing great, thanks.
How is the housing market? We have been talking about an influx of foreclosures. We're seeing higher mortgage rates. So where are we?
It's a pretty soft housing market. I don't think that really anybody's happy with it. If you're a prospective buyer or if you're a homeowner, there's a lot to not love.
When you say it's a soft market, what does that mean?
Well, what I mean is that there's not a lot of activity going on. So buyers and sellers are really not finding each other. For the most part, buyers are sitting on the sidelines. There are more sellers nationally than there are home buyers. And prices are growing marginally, but in a lot of areas they're actually falling.
So, Stephen, what can we attribute this to? What are some of the factors that is leading to this?
Well, if you look back to where we have come over the last 6 years, home prices nationally have accelerated at an extremely rapid pace. There are some parts of the country where we have 40 or 50% cumulative growth since 2020. That isn't true everywhere, but many of the COVID-era boom towns, they have almost boomed and busted. They have grown precipitously and now actually come down in prices, and that's left a lot of people who did buy. Some of them are underwater. It's left a lot of people who want to buy still looking back at those old prices and feeling like they've been left behind. And so everybody is looking at this from their own perspective and feeling like they got the wrong end of the deal.
Was Phoenix, would you consider the Valley, Phoenix or Scottsdale, one of those markets that boomed during COVID? Because it certainly felt that way from our perspective.
It was. Now, a lot of the Sun Belt and southern, southwestern states, they built. It was something that the Northeast, much of sort of the West Coast, did not do as much, and that did sort of balance things out a little bit. Over the last year, Phoenix is seeing nominal growth in prices of about 0.4%. So that's growing, but only by a small amount, far less than we've seen over the long-term 10-year trajectory. And when you take into account inflation, now you're looking at, in real terms, a negative growth rate.
Stephen, I know you probably don't have a crystal ball, and you probably wish you did in your industry, but
yes.
What do you predict happening in the next 6 months to a year to even maybe 2 years down the road? Is this going to continue? Because I know there's a lot of folks that are hoping to be first-time home buyers, but as you mentioned, people are kind of locked in because of these high interest rates. What do you think is going to happen down the road?
Well, it's hard to say in any one location, so I can't predict what's going to happen in Phoenix. But on a national scale, we're going to be in this kind of environment for a long time. Now, mortgage rates have risen over the last 3 months. That's making things that's making things worse as buyers, again, feel like they're getting a bit rug pulled. Coming into 2026, it felt like rates were coming down on a year-over-year basis. Housing is more affordable. We're kind of going backwards here. We're almost to the point where rates are no lower than they were a year ago. And so that's putting people, again, into a position where they're just waiting and seeing.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Well, I was going to say, Ty mentioned not being able to buy because of the mortgage rates. But what if you're in a position where you got into a mortgage rate extremely low? So if you sell, then maybe you'll make a little bit of money on the house, but then getting into something else, you're losing that 2.5 or 3.1 that people have.
Well, and that's the trouble for a lot of existing homeowners, is that they may have accumulated a lot of home equity, but there's not a lot that they can do with it. They feel sort of golden handcuffed to their home with a 2.5%, 3.5% mortgage rate, which feels amazing to have. But to try to convert even the gains that they've made in their home into another home, you're buying a home of likely similar cost, or potentially if you're trying to upgrade, even higher cost with a higher mortgage rate. The math for a lot of people doesn't work. Incomes have simply not risen enough to make up for those large increases in home values and the added cost that the mortgage rates add to it.
What about home prices themselves? We did a story this morning, I think, and it was talking about Tampa, and I think there was a city here in the Phoenix metro area where folks put their house on the market and then they're starting to slash those prices because they're just not getting those bites that they thought that they would be able to get.
That is happening, and certainly in a lot of the southern parts of the country. I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. The Carolinas, Florida, Texas, many other southern states, they are seeing the benefits of the building that they've done. But for existing homeowners, that means that prices have either stagnated or in some cases come down. Most people are anchored to that high watermark price that they remember from 2022 or 2023. And that simply isn't the price that your home is worth anymore.
Yeah.
If you try to sell it for what you remember it being worth, then you're going to end up having to cut that a few months from now or a year from now or take it off the market altogether. And that's what we're seeing in a lot of places, is that sellers who are trying to price their home very high, they're not getting any bites, and they're taking it off the market or repricing it altogether. Homes that are priced well and priced to move, those are still seeing a lot of activity, some cases even bidding wars. But you're pricing that home far lower than it was a few years ago.
Yeah.
One more quick question before we wrap and say goodbye. Are there any markets, Nashville, for example, maybe Scottsdale, Phoenix, Queen Creek area, that are maybe immune to what is happening? They're hot. They're going to stay hot. People are going to buy no matter what the asking price is.
Right now, a lot of Midwestern cities are seeing a lot of activity and in some cases double-digit growth. A lot of cities that didn't get a lot of influx of new people in the past may have been overlooked as places to move to, possibly did some building throughout the last 5 or 6 years. They're seeing a lot of activity. Chicago's doing well. Many cities in Ohio are doing really well in terms of the overall growth rate. But a lot of that is because those homes have not grown as quickly as other areas. And so when you're comparing Midwestern cities to the West Coast or New England, it's because they have grown at a much slower pace in the past and are now seeing a larger influx of people interested in buying those homes.
All right. Well, Stephen, we appreciate your time here on this Tuesday. Thank you so much.
Good info.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
I was just reading one of the comments. Thomas says, with some of the video you used from Maricopa, I think I saw my house. I played that video for you again, Thomas, because I was maybe you could see
Let
it.
us know. Let us know. We have a lot of file video.
We do have a lot of file video.
We're not
We have
stalking
no
you,
idea
Thomas.
where
We
they're
are
from,
not.
though. That is for sure.
No. Let's talk about summer reading.
Yes.
With our favorite librarian ever, Lee Franklin.
I need a new book,
Hi.
Lee.
Hello.
Well, and I have a question about the Libby app.
Oh God, here we go again with the Libby app.
I read that you can.
I need to come to your house.
Yeah.
My Kindle is in the other room. I read that you can change it from 14-day loan period to 21-day loan period.
Not Phoenix Public Library.
Okay,
yeah,
see?
maybe
Good.
there is.
That's why we clarified for everybody at home.
Ours are set at 14 days.
Every time you come in, it's like Anita needs a lot of questions about that Libby.
About Libby app. Yeah.
But girl, I got it. It's on my phone, it's on my tablet, and on my Kindle.
I'm like, read.
Yeah. I walk around, see Kindle. I walk around reading.
I just finished Catherine Stockton's The Calamity Club.
And?
It was good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She wrote The Help.
Oh yeah, we liked that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a big whopper. I was like, woof.
Oh, how many pages?
I love it. It was like on my Libby app, because I got it on as an ebook, was over 1,000 pages.
656.
Yeah.
Wow.
Big one.
That is, yeah.
I'm like, nah.
That's the
nothing for
hardcover.
you.
Yeah, the Kindle ebook is 646.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Well, summer reading, obviously people do vacations, they're going to be traveling, they're going to be doing road trips, maybe on a plane. So do you have some good stuff for us?
Yes.
Yeah, we have samples of stuff.
I want you to know I still use my visor.
It says just read, but not while driving.
Yes.
Yeah,
every day.
And
I thought about you Friday when I put it up. I'm like, I should take a picture of this for Lee.
I know I can be blocked. I don't need to be on camera, but so summer reading, right? It's for sure 20 minutes a day for little ones, especially during their out of school months. Really, that is like the broccoli and the macaroni and cheese. Is kids have they call it the summer slide, so they have a learning loss. all the games that they had at the end of the...
Sorry, I'm having an allergy attack.
right.
I apologize.
Hi, are you okay? Well, I know. Like,
So I thought we were going to have to jump in and do CPR.
Like, keep breathing, Ty.
Like, do you know it? I don't know it.
I do, yeah.
Okay.
I do. Don't worry.
Girl.
Yeah, so we want little ones out of school, their out of school time reading at least 20 minutes a day to help offset that summer learning loss, so that they come back into school without having lost anything that they gained the year before. But we all know reading is fantastic for all ages.
And you know what? It also sets kind of a precedent. Because I remember, like, when I was little, my mom, dad, and I, we would all, like, do our reading. And it was, like, 30 minutes where everybody would read their book. And I feel like that kind of, like, instilled in me the importance of reading and actually enjoying reading.
Well, exactly. It when it's voluntary, and if especially if kids, anybody really is in an environment where reading is the habit, or books and stuff. It's it becomes a lifetime
ingrained
endeavor.
In you, kind of, right?
My dad would take me to the library like once a week.
My mom too.
And I loved going.
Same.
I just loved it. I don't know what he was doing, but he would drop me off at the kids section. It was nice and safe. And I would just go at it.
So that's another benefit of libraries, right? Is that we have something for everybody, right? Anybody, a member of the family could explore their bliss in a way, right? Like kids have the children's area, and grown-ups can go find magazines or get on a computer or charge their phone or just have a brief, quiet moment.
Away from the kids.
Away from
the kids. We have about a minute before a break, just to be sure we get it in. What is the program that you're kicking off?
So it starts June 1st officially. People can sign up right now, maricopacountyreads.org or phoenixpubliclibrary.org. You can find it. Get registered, and then come June 1st, from June 1st through July 20th, read at least 20 minutes a day or more and log those minutes on the online game. And you can earn, you can get prizes and incentives for signing up, all ages. And then at mile markers, like when you get to the 250 minute mark, the 500 minute mark, the 1,000, we have lots of prizes and incentives along the way too. Plus tons of great fun programming. And I want to emphasize it's for all ages. So we have stuff for grown-ups too.
I love that.
Yeah, and it's play their summer reading game.
Signing up as we speak.
Right. We also have, for those that like the tactile,
we got to go.
One second.
Game boards.
Stay with us. All right, welcome back. Okay, Lee, real
quick.
quick, give us that website where folks can sign up, because I think that'll be fun, not only for the adults, but for the kids, because those
Absolutely, everybody.
incentives are kind of cool to see,
Got
too.
great gifts, great incentives. Phoenix or MaricopaCountyReads.org
Okay.
or PhoenixPublicLibrary.org. Either one of those sites you can get registered. Start playing June 1st. Read.
You can
read,
sign
read,
up
read.
as a
Come
family.
see us.
You can
Yep,
sign up as a
absolutely.
family. I'm going to sign us up as a family.
You can create an avatar, and then you want to go in and log your minutes every day, read at least 20 minutes a day, more, and all reading counts. That's the other thing I always want to emphasize.
We read the
If you-
teleprompter.
What
on
about
there. Does that
we
count?
win?
If your kids read
We win.
the back of the cereal box at the breakfast table,
Done.
that counts. If you
Okay.
listen to audiobooks, that
Text
counts.
messages from
I
your
know, I
spouse.
see the look on
I
Tyler,
don't know
like, we'll
about
debate,
that.
but
Okay.
all reading counts, and it's all good. Just
Okay.
read whatever it is that you like to read, just pick it up and read it. And you can find it at the library.
Can I ask you one quick question before
course.
we go? Because
Is
we do
that
have to
your
go.
guess?
I know.
I do know CPR.
Thank you. But what is the, like, how do you find a good book? Like, do you go to Goodreads? Because that's where I've been going
How do
lately.
I personally?
Yeah.
Well, I do so much prep for stuff like this that I'm always like, what are the current great books?
Yeah.
Plus, I'm a voracious reader, so we have a lot of staff picks and a lot of recommendations on PhoenixPublicLibrary.org for any kind of genre of reader. So.
Okay.
Is that like a group text? Can we join?
Oh,
you guys
no.
can just be like, here's what we're reading.
We don't have a group text yet, but we do have an
should-
app.
Oh,
We have an app,
see?
so you can find recommendations.
recommendations.
You can always call our call center. You can come in and talk to any one of us. And if you're looking for a good book, you know. We can talk
Call
for
you.
hours,
Yes, we
right?
can.
And tell you, like, we've got all of this. We'll
love
find you your book.
Thank you,
All right.
Lee.
Lee, it was great to
appreciate
see
you.
you.
for having
Happy
me.
summer to you.
We'll have you on for fall reading.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right, well, this is the perfect time to maybe get a good book, because if you are heading to
that's
the
my
airport,
favorite place to read.
Me too, on the plane, because you're kind of stuck there doing
Waiting
nothing.
for the plane.
Oh, I like to
Sometimes-
people watch
I
at the
do
airport.
too, but I like glance down, read a page, glance up, and the Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport has a little nook.
Yeah,
in Terminal
we talked about that not too
little
long ago.
library.
Yeah, in Terminal 3.
Yes. Hi, Monica.
So much
Welcome
fun.
back.
It's doing so well.
Good. Hopefully
love
you'll
that.
have one in like every terminal. I think it's a
know.
great idea. We're talking about summer air travel.
This is when you guys get very busy at the
Indeed.
airport.
And what are we worried because there's so much talk out there with fuel prices, people aren't traveling, but I feel like they are.
People are traveling. This is the time of year where we see families, those large groups headed out on those long-awaited vacations.
So we brought you in just to kind of help us walk through the ways to kind of, I guess, streamline the process, because sometimes folks are not travel savvy. This might be the first time they go in a couple of years.
right.
So what are some of the ways to kind of get through those security lines, get through the airport quickly, easily, and stress-free?
The key word is prep, right? Be prepared. Know where you're going, know what you're going to do, have your plan, make your plan, and so on. So
Have your real ID.
Indeed.
That's very important.
Right. Have the right ID before you even make your way to the airport way in advance. You're taking this trip, right? You've booked your flights, you're set. Take a look at parking. Where will I be parking? Will I be parking? Or will we be dropped off? If we're being dropped off, where does it make sense to be dropped off? We have maps online that allow for you to take a look at the different options. You can look at parking facilities. You can look at locations where you can be dropped off. So some of those are the key prep in advance type of details that do make a difference. So plan in advance, figure out where you're parking, figure out where you're being dropped off, and then know exactly where you're going, which terminal. Once you're in there, even before you make your way into the airport, figure out what you're taking. Does it make sense to check in, or am I carrying on? Can this go through TSA security? So you can take a look at TSA's webpage and figure out what makes sense with respect to the items that you are packing, the items that you are carrying on board, and so on.
You guys are great about posting updated wait times, how full the garage is. You have coupons and discounts available.
Right.
You make it really easy. You can make a reservation even if you don't have TSA pre-check to help get through some of the lines a little bit faster.
Yeah, what is that Phoenix Reserve?
Right. Phoenix Reserve is an option for people to take a look at how they're going to go through the system, right? Through security checkpoint, and what time makes sense for you. And then based on that, reserve your spot. Reserve your spot, and once you're in line, once you get to the security area, you have your reserved area. You can walk up based on that window that you've reserved.
So that really kind of streamlines the process as well, because it's a designated line, right?
Exactly. And there, back to your point, Anita, there are so many things you can do in advance, right? Thanks to technology. You can, again, going back to the parking, going back to making your way into the airport. How can I get into the airport hands-free? You can check your bags in, use early bag check at East Economy or at the rental car center, especially if you're traveling with a family group, right? Sometimes we need our hands to hold on to little ones and suitcases and heavy luggage and so on. So it really makes a difference when you can check those items in early, jump on the SkyTrain, make your way into the terminal, and just settle in and be ready for your flight. So
when are we hitting the peak?
I would say the peak is the entire summer. Summer starts now. We're starting to see families coming through. We also have the international soccer matches taking place.
Oh, that'll be huge.
This year here in the U.S. So with that, we will see crowds coming in as well. So
because they're just in L.A.
Right, family.
So a lot of people probably fly in and drive.
Yep. We can be a base for that destination. So we will have family groups, and we will have soccer fans coming in as well.
Now, the last time we had you here, we were talking about the government shutdown, obviously affecting TSA lines. Things have thankfully gotten back to normal. But what are those times that you recommend people to get to the airport for the domestic flights and international?
Sure. So preparing in advance, preparing to arrive 2 hours early for your domestic flight and 3 hours for that international flight. And then before you make your way into the airport, checking with your airline. What is the status of my flight? Is it on time? Is it delayed? And so on. Once you arrive at the airport, you can do the same thing there. You can take a look at flight status. You can take a look at security checkpoint wait lines, even before you make your way into the airport. So,
and bring a book.
Right. Bring a book. Be prepared.
You can leave a book, take a book. Bring a book. Thank you.
So there's that preparation in advance, and then enjoying the amenities that we have. There are so many different things available to allow for you to be in place and ready for your flight. We talked about the free little library. We talked about the different restaurants and different shops and so on. So lots of options.
I know, just go hang out at Phoenix.
You almost want to arrive early and enjoy,
just to go have a little time to hang out.
Website where people can get all the info.
Skyharbor.com.
Awesome.
Wealth and knowledge. Monica, thanks for coming in. Happy summer travel season.
Yeah, we'll have you on back when FIFA starts, maybe.
Oh, that would be
fun. We'll talk about all the fun stuff.
That would be lots of fun. We've got some terminal activations that are taking place that will make it fun.
Thank you.
Great to see you.
Likewise.
All right, we have our next guest making their way here into the area here. And this is really, really important stuff that we're going to be talking about here, you guys. Bite Night. One great night celebrating community and hope. And this is all for ALS.
So we want to introduce you to Angie, who is the VP of Development at ALS Arizona, and Ernie Ruiz, a veteran who is living and spreading the word about ALS. And so we have the big fundraiser here, but there is fundraising really, Angie, all year long, right?
Yes. We have a couple of really large events coming up. So we have Lou Gehrig's Day, which is on June 2nd, and then followed by our Phoenix Bite Night, which is one of our major events. And that is at Chateau Lux in the evening. And then we also do the walks in the fall. So it's a very busy year.
Yeah, it is.
Well, thanks for coming in. You goes, oops, sorry, Dave. We got producer Dave in here too. Sorry, I didn't mean to take the camera.
Did you see his reaction?
That was a fast jump,
That was good.
Dave.
One more time, Dave. It's live. What do we do, you guys? What do we do?
For folks that don't, can we back up? Let's talk about ALS. For people that don't know what ALS, can you just walk us through what it is?
Yeah, ALS is a disease that affects the motor neurons. So it kind of, if you break it down, it's like the brain disconnects from the muscles. So you have muscles in your voice, you have ear muscles that you know of, so like your hands and your feet and your diaphragm, which helps you breathe. So as time goes on, ALS affects those motor neurons and stops you from being able to control your muscles, and that worsens over time and eventually leads to you not being able to breathe.
No cure, which is why we fight so hard, why we hold these very special events and these walks. It is essential that people help out and volunteer and make a difference in that way.
Yes, we have 9 people staffed at ALS Arizona, so we're small but we're mighty, so we really, really rely on our volunteers, which the walk can take up to 150, so people can get involved that way and find us on our website.
Yeah. Ernie, what would you say to anyone who recently has been diagnosed and needs help, needs a little bit of direction?
I would say seek out any resources that are available, like ALS Arizona. If you're in a different state, then look up for those organizations that are out there. ALS Arizona, in my opinion, is super helpful for people in many ways in building that community. They bring people together, getting resources. When you get diagnosed, it's a huge weight on you, especially financially. Equipment is really expensive. ALS Arizona gets you equipment, they loan equipment, they can bridge a gap where maybe your insurance isn't covering, or if you just need something, you can ask them. I would say if you do get diagnosed with ALS, it is really scary, but you should lean on your people, lean on your community, and practically you should use equipment as early as you can, because it gives you independence. When I first got diagnosed, I was really proud and didn't want to be seen with a cane or a wheelchair, and that really limited the things I could do.
Accept the help. We have about 30 seconds left. Tell us about the fundraiser coming up, how people can participate.
So our gala is on June 6th. There's a few seats left. You can find that on our website. It's a culinary event, so the audience does vote on the best bite of food. So we have lots of restaurants participating, lots of caterers, and we hope to see it grow and grow. So
Thank you.
Find us on our website.
Thanks for sharing your stories. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no worries. Thanks.
It's 11:30, and there's downtown Phoenix, and we call it the Dean's Choice camera today, Des. And Trenton joins as well, so I'll open your microphone.
Nice shot.
That is Auburn University.
Oh.
Now, which one of these three, you guys, is the greatest athlete to ever come out of Auburn? Ready? Ooh. Charles Barkley, Bo Jackson, or Cam Newton?
Bo Jackson.
Come on.
Bo Jackson.
Do you think? Okay.
Are you right?
I was just excited about Bo Jackson when I was young. He was the great
I'm
hope.
just thinking, right, he better.
Right.
He's the greatest
Let's
of those.
see.
Trenton, did I ever tell you my Bo Jackson story?
No, I have to hear it now.
Yeah, so he was a studio guest when we first started this morning show years ago.
Really?
Wow.
And he comes, so you know where kind of that bathroom area is, and then you go down that little ramp. I'm walking down that little ramp about to introduce myself, and Bo Jackson looks at me and says, "Hey, Hooner."
Whoa!
I know.
Your soul left your body, I'm sure.
What? You know my name?
Yeah.
I know.
I remember my brother had I have an older brother. He's 17 years older than me. He had a Bo Jackson hype video from 1986 where it was Bo does everything, and it was baseball, football, archery now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just I remember seeing him as just the pinnacle of athletic prowess.
How about his? Remember, there was a Sports Illustrated famous cover, maybe one of the most famous covers ever. I think he's just showing off his muscles. I mean, Des, he's got more muscles than me.
Oh, yeah?
Surprising.
Oh, wow.
Surprising there.
I know.
No way.
But with the baseball bat and the football, I mean, he was a superstar.
Incredible.
But by the way, Cam Newton, I will just say, I mean, he was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
He won the Heisman, took Auburn. They won the national championship right down the road here in Glendale for Auburn. Then he goes to the NFL, and he takes the Carolina Panthers, of all teams, to the Super Bowl.
Incredible.
I mean, he was really some. By the way, one more thing here. One last thing. Do you have any idea where the name Auburn comes from? Why is it called? Why is this pretty little village in deep in Alabama called Auburn?
I don't know.
Okay,
the color of the building?
I'll tell you. That's a good
The
guess.
school?
Yeah, I like it.
It's based on a poem from 1770 that describes a idyllic but fictional English village. And there's a line in there that says, "Sweet Auburn, the loveliest village of the plain." So that's why when you listen to the ball games, whenever Auburn is playing football, they talk about "Welcome to the Plains."
Okay.
And I'm like, really? What's
all in the
plain
name.
about that?
Right.
It just looks like another mile of Alabama, which is beautiful. And that's why, all because of that poem that goes all the way back to now you know.
Oh, that's
now
cool.
you know something. All right, so the question, of course, is why is Trenton here as a guest?
Well, we have a lot to catch up on.
Yes.
There is that.
We have a lot of stories to dive into,
For sure. In fact, he's got a game plan. Trenton works, the whole newsroom's sort of on standby now for a court case that you guys have been watching closely. Tell us a little bit more about it.
So this is the Ian Mitcham murder trial. We're in the final phase of this, the penalty phase. Jury is sequestered right now, deciding if he will get the death penalty or life in prison. Now, Arizona law since 2002 has put that decision with the juries rather than a judge before. The case was actually Ring versus Arizona, and that decided that, yes, with the Sixth Amendment right to a trial by jury, that decision should also be with juries too. So how it works in Arizona is that you have to have a unanimous vote. All 12 jurors have to decide for death or for life in prison. Now, if you get a hung jury the first time through, they will have to make that decision again to be unanimous. If they get hung again, then it's up to the judge to decide a penalty. But it will be a whole new jury if they don't reach a unanimous decision.
We talk so much about the defendant in this case. He's already been convicted. I mean, we're at the final portion now, death penalty or not. But the life of Allison Feldman, and she had moved here from the Midwest and was just kind of starting her life. Bought this home in Scottsdale.
Right.
Had her whole life in front of her, and just a beautiful, beautiful soul. Her dad did everything to kind of follow this case through, and then he passed just a few weeks ago. Isn't that right, Trent?
Correct. And actually, our own John Hook did the last interview with Harley Feldman, where he was saying that he was anticipating, waiting to see that final moment in the courtroom where Ian Mitcham would be sentenced to death, and that his words, God willing, he would be alive to see that through for justice for his daughter, Allison. So just this family going through so much. We had also heard from Allison's friends and also her sister Kelly, who said that this was just the blow that they weren't expecting. Harley had really kept the family together to fight for Allison, to fight for justice. And we know from our own coverage that Harley had also helped even change Arizona law to have familial DNA to be used in a criminal court case. He was instrumental with that under Governor Doug Ducey.
And he didn't have to go that far.
Right.
You know, he could have really stayed focused on his family, his healing, this case, but to go that far, to feel that passionate about helping get that passed so we don't see, cases go, to the wayside because of that law not being on the books. And then it's been noted, too, throughout the trial that Ian Mitcham wasn't really showing remorse, wasn't really apologetic. Even the defense, still trying to claim his innocence. Do you think if he had, or I guess we'll see what the outcome is with the jury here, but that could certainly play a role, the lack thereof of remorse.
I think you're 100% right. Now, when we started this trial, Ian Mitcham was coming into the courtroom, laughing, smiling with his attorneys and cajoling with them. And throughout the trial, we haven't seen, that point where he had shown that remorse, especially even after being found guilty. So it will be interesting to see what happens in this next phase. Again, this case was so Ian Mitcham had targeted Allison, other than it was a money grab, they said, where he had made these deposits into his bank with his other brother in the subsequent hours after Allison was murdered. But again, his DNA was all through the home, and the defense had used the excuse that a pharmacist, unrelated mystery man, that he was the one that actually killed Allison. But again, a lot of excuses, not a lot of remorse.
Okay, so just to recap, Trenton, what is your actual, just in terms of how we're going to approach this, when it could be at any moment now, but how we approach it as a newsroom?
Well, our own Nicole Christine will be live from the courtroom. She's also going to be speaking with Allison's friends and family, who are expected to be in there to hear this final sentencing phase being carried out. I'll be back here at home base here at Fox 10 Studios, and we'll have also a panel of experts to be weighing in with their analysis as this is going to be read, and hopefully we'll have a final closure today. It might be later on this week, but when that happens, we'll be ready.
Okay, excellent. Trenton, thank you.
Thank you both. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Always a pleasure having you.
A couple other stories that we did just want to mention. Here's the initial appearance before a judge. This is that case that came in from the I-17. It was a Valley mom who now has been indicted on a bunch of felony charges. The grand jury indicted Brenda Rivera Estrada on a manslaughter charge, 3 counts of endangerment, 1 of possession or use of dangerous drugs. You might remember it. It was out on the I-17 one morning out there at about April, I think it was April the 12th. She, according to her blood test, she tested positive for both pot and meth. And we had covered the story that morning because it was just unusual how the vehicle was, rolled over on its side. And she had her kids in the car with her, and it was her little 9-year-old that was ejected.
Right. 4 children in that car. And once once we were hearing kind of what was unfolding from the scanners and from being on the scene, to hear that a 9-year-old was ejected in this crash and ultimately died from her injuries, it's just terrible. The other children suffered minor injuries in that crash, but so 3 of those children did survive. But the mother is certainly facing serious charges, just being quite neglectful.
Yeah. Okay, and then the other one we wanted to update you on was that shooting inside a Target. By the way, there's that vehicle upside down on the 17. Maybe that jogs your memory from the day on April 12th that we covered it. Okay, on to the next story here. There was a shooting not in the parking lot, but right in the middle of a Target store in Mesa. Police say they've now made the arrest. Dylan Stinson was booked on counts of aggravated assault and unlawful discharge of a firearm. Des, it sounds like he got into a fight with somebody else inside the store.
Well, could you possibly be arguing about in a Target?
Right?
You know, and that's kind of the mystery. Obviously, some sort of argument, but well, what did it stem from, you know, between these two gentlemen over an item in the store, a personal matter? What was it? We don't know, but there was, I think, maybe a little unsettled feelings yesterday when we didn't have much information about a suspect and didn't say that police had anyone in custody, but hopefully this, you know, eases the minds and hearts of some folks in that community there that they did find who it was.
Believe you're going to be safe when you walk into a store, that's for sure. By the way, the word from the president this morning, this is what we call file tape in the biz. I don't think he took Air Force One anywhere today. In fact, I do know he went over to the Walter Reed Army Medical Center there on the northern end of Washington for his latest checkup, and he said it went, quote, perfectly.
Okay,
we'll
good.
find out more in just a little while. But, Des, before we go to break, our poll question has to do with what do you think is going to be happening in the upcoming election? 23% say Democrats are going to take over. 75% think the Republicans might be able to hold on. And the numbers are really pretty close in YouTube. In fact, we do a quick refresh. Right there, already over 1,400 votes. Should we go to Big D?
Yeah, let's go to Dave. Dave, I know folks, you know, are commenting on the poll here. What are they saying?
You know, they're saying a lot of different things, and we love hearing from you on fox10phoenix.com/poll as well as on YouTube. Uncommon Senses says if Trump had stuck to his campaign promises, he would have been able to keep his support and gained more. Instead, he handed the reins to Israel and tanked the economy. In the end, Trump is the greatest gift liberals could have asked for. And Truth for Patriots says Republicans will gerrymander and suppress voting so that Democrats can never win again. The current GOP is the most corrupt party in our American history. As you can see, a lot of people fired up. Please keep the comments coming, guys. We love hearing from you.
Guess what? Now it's mystery cam time.
Yeah, get those guesses in.
Thank you, Dave.
It's a good camera today.
Ooh,
I like
be right
this
back.
one.
Mystery Cam time. Outlaw Dynamo Des is saying, give me Vermont for the win. But Louis is saying, I think I'm going to go with Tennessee.
A lot of guesses for Tennessee today, because we had a lot of folks guessing Tennessee in our earlier hour, too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I almost want to say Auburn.
Oh, my gosh. Wouldn't that be great?
Just a different view. Auburn, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe.
So,
you never know
with
Dean,
that.
man. He could pull a fast one
How
on
about
us.
Alabama?
So you're going to go Bama?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, you see
They got
that.
an America 250th banner. See?
I know.
On the
I
street
went to
sign.
look at that closely because I thought, here's going to be a clue. Well, that could be any town in America.
I
We're all
know, it could
celebrating
be.
250,
I
right?
know.
I bet you got 1,000 towns.
But I
that
could
have
definitely
something
almost see
similar.
a Vermont, too.
Yeah, no
Spent
kidding.
a lot of time in New
That
England,
looks
so
like
this
that.
does kind of look a little New England.
Oh, that's right. You lived in Boston. Okay,
Yeah.
so what are you going to
I'm going to go Alabama, though. I'll stay
Okay.
Alabama.
All right, then I'll go New England.
Okay. All right.
I love choosing New England because there's 6 states.
I did. That is the smart way to guess. A couple states wrapped up into that.
Here we
guess.
go, everybody.
Oh, I'm embarrassed.
Uh-oh. What do you got?
Ronnie is from our home state. This is New York.
Really?
It's Catskill.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Yeah, it's the Catskills.
Okay, Ronnie, our director, and Des.
Yeah, Ronnie is also from New York, but she's from like the real.
She's
New
from
York,
the city.
New York. Yeah, she's from the city.
And you're from
She's
Buffalo.
downstate.
And there you go.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Looks
this could
nice,
be. Yeah,
for
I
sure.
see it then. Yep.
Hey,
Very pretty.
by the way, thank you, Louis. One of our most loyal everyday viewers is Louis Gonzalez out there in the Gila Valley. And he said just a minute ago, he said, I learned something new on this show every day.
Oh, good.
Right?
Good, yeah.
Until I did the research, I didn't know why Auburn was called Auburn and why people were like, welcome to the Plains. I'm like, isn't the Plains like Oklahoma or Kansas? But anyway.
I guess not. Not there.
Thank you, Louie. That's a nice compliment.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to this next interview. We have Emily Lampkin joining us, Des.
Yes, Emily is a USA Today top-selling author. Emily, we're so excited to have you on the show. The name of your book, Duct Tape and White Lies, A Woman's Practical Guide to Real-Life Success. And tell us what's in your book and why you feel women especially use sorry too much in life.
Glad to be on. My book is all about that. I want something in life, but I don't even know where to start. It is the step-by-step guide. I walk women through exactly how to get there. And one of the things we do to lose a little bit of power is we over-apologize. I think it started out when we were little that it was polite, and then at some point it just became a habitual filler for every moment. So I recommend to women that they either ditch the apologizing altogether, except for when you need to apologize, or replace it with something more meaningful.
Okay, so why do, in the first place, women over-apologize?
I think we got in a bad habit and then never shook out of it. And I think we think that it's polite when actually it just doesn't get us what we want. And we are less powerful when we use it.
So you write a book like this, and I'm sure you get some feedback. I don't know if a story or two pops into your head, but have you heard back from people who say, you know what, I took the concepts that you taught in this book, put them into place, and it's really worked for me?
That's how it all started. I started teaching this in a workshop format called the Women Leader Series all over the country and around the globe. And I would get the feedback from women on how they were using this material in their own life and how effective it was. And if it's everybody from a courtroom attorney who said, I won my case because I've changed my approach to messaging, to women who are cleaning up streams or running for office, or frankly just got a promotion and a pay raise that they had wanted because they're using this information effectively.
Okay, so walk us through how to use it. So when are we kind of using a filler apology, or give us an example of a filler apology versus a real apology, and when we should say sorry?
There's this perplexing thing women do, and some describe it as apologizing for taking up space, where they enter a room and the first thing they do is apologize. And there's no actual even reason for it. Those are the kind of apologies we need to ditch, and you can replace it with some effective phrases such as I could use, is one of my favorite. I could use some help. some advice, a few more moments, I could use as an easy way to get out of the apologizing. When should you apologize? When you really hurt somebody, or when you did something that's truly disrespectful. The example I always use is when you are late. It is disrespectful. You should apologize for being late. By the way, on time is early. And when you apologize, you should do it once and then move on.
Okay.
Excellent.
So be direct about it, apologize once, and then keep it moving. So what is something, if someone is kind of stuck in that rut, maybe that's just a crutch word. We all have them sometimes. Or so if sorry is your crutch word, how do we reset ourselves and not use it as a crutch or stop over apologizing? What do you offer? Or what's your advice?
In my book is full of these mini chapters I call accessories, which have whole lists of phrases and words you can replace. I have a whole list of how to say no without saying no. I also have a whole list of things you can say other than apologizing. That was not my intention. I'd also like us women to look out for one another. And that means when somebody apologizes to you and didn't owe you an apology, I say, oh, you didn't owe me an apology. We women apologize too much. Let's help each other out here.
What are some other words besides sorry that might put you in that, still in the same sort of light to the person that you're dealing with? You beyond that one word. I know there's a lot more to it, but what do you say about that?
There's almost anything else you exchange it for is probably going to be more effective. And as I said, you can normally ditch it altogether. You apologize and then you make a statement. Just make the statement. The other thing I think women do too much of in this space is oversharing. We end up sharing way too much information about where we are and what we're doing when we can just say we're unavailable at that time and look for a different time.
Oh, well, what do you mean by that? Can you give us an example? Is that like with a colleague, or are you referring like with a boss for oversharing?
Yes. Yes, and yes. The example I always get, you can see in my background, I've got a bunch of high school boys who play football. In the fall, that means that Friday afternoons I'm unavailable. I don't tell everybody that I'm at my son's football game. I simply say in a work setting that I'm unavailable at that time. Let's find another time that works.
Okay. So perfect example. And you don't say sorry before that. You don't say, sorry, I'm unavailable at this time. You just get to exactly what you're trying to say, and no need to apologize for not being available in that time frame.
Desiree, brilliant way to thread them all together. Stop apologizing for the fact that you're going to your son's football game and just stitch it all together, and don't tell them necessarily where you are. That way we are allowing other people to decide what our priorities should be.
That's great. Because okay. Why are women so afraid to be assertive and direct? Right.
Especially with men, it's a much more effective way to communicate.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, great.
Never apologize for going to a football game is good advice for all of us.
Never apologize for putting the family first. Yeah, you're right.
Amen.
Yeah.
All right, Emily.
Emily, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
All right. Today we are at the Wildlife World Zoo, and I would call this particular little animal, Danielle was out there, one of the more adorable in quite some time.
He was cute.
Here, check it out.
Yes, he is. He is such a cutie, and it's really cool to see the adults, if you've ever been to Wildlife World Zoo and their exhibit. They are so fun to watch. I feel like, Chrissy, I could watch them for hours. They're just comical, they're fun, and they're funny. And this is a baby, bush baby. Yes. Who is this?
Okay, so this is baby Louie. He was actually born on the founder of Wildlife World Zoo's birthday. So Mickey's first name was Louis, and so we named him Little Louie. Aww. And he's so sweet, so he's getting a little second chance at life. His mother did not want to take care of him after birth, but fortunately we have the expertise to be able to hand raise him. He loves his armpits.
Yeah, I was going to say we have to get that little comb out here. Chrissy's been combing him all morning, and he is in love right here with those scratches. Chrissy, how old is he?
So he's only a few weeks old.
Okay.
So right now he's getting around-the-clock care to ensure survival, but they grow very fast. I mean, he already has teeth, he's already moving around, and over the next few weeks he's going to practice little tiny jumps. As adults, they can jump over 30 feet. They can jump so far. You're going to find them in the sub-Sahara of Africa. and they're going to be up in the trees. That's where they're going to live the majority of their time. And you can tell, even at this little young age, this is a nocturnal animal with those giant eyes. His ears are going to get a lot bigger. And the eyes are going to, of course, help them see at nighttime. And they're going to eat things like bugs, tree sap, fruits, different stuff like that.
And then he's, you know, as you mentioned, just very, very young here. Once he does get a little bit more independent, does he go back with his parents? Is he not with his parents? You guys possibly will have him as an ambassador, so still undetermined. Oh my gosh.
Just like a little baby's at home. Yes, so right now we do have his parents on exhibit, and as he gets older, there's a couple of things that'll happen. If he's very imprinted on humans, he might stay in the education department, be an ambassador for his species. We can try an introduction with other bush babies, and he might go on to another zoo to start a breeding program with another female. So his options are still open.
Yes, and he is tiny right now, but how big will he get?
So full grown, they get a couple of pounds. To put it in perspective, it's about the size of a small house cat.
Okay.
So he's going to get quite a bit bigger very quickly.
And talk about those hands. I mean, look at those fingers. Is that just what, to grip the branches, I'm assuming, or?
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. They remind me of like little frog fingers.
Yes.
They have like little finger pads at the end, which is going to help them grip onto those branches. When you see them leaping through the trees, they look like little ninjas. It's so funny. When he looks, he kind of cocks his head sometimes.
I think it's so funny too, because we've done stories with his parents, and they will stare at you through that glass. And it is the funniest thing, because they're so interested in, who are those people? What are they doing?
And even more so now. So we're redoing our entire small mammals building, where our nocturnal animals are getting alternate lighting. So during the day, it's going to be red lighting, so they're even more active during the day. And guests will get a unique experience of what they look like when they're foraging and interacting at night. We're so excited to open that. And that building should be opening hopefully by this fall.
Okay.
All of that happening out there at the Wildlife World Zoo.
Des, we have so many animals to see. So cool.
We have a really cool game plan.
Yeah, we do.
Stick with us on YouTube and the Fox Local app, because we're bringing back Ty and Anita by popular demand.
Yeah, you get to enjoy them for another half hour today.
Right here.
Right here. Don't go anywhere.
They all have their AIHP, American Indian Health Plan. So that's their way of, because so lower income and can't afford the health insurance, they're all there under that umbrella. But in this case, according to the state, they had never received the services. They had never been to the clinic. They had never gotten counseling. And it's very highly, highly unlikely that a kid's ages 2 to 14 had alcohol dependence. So it was this blanket term that was used. So we delve into this, inside the scheme in our story tonight at 5:30, and then we actually have an interview with one of the victims.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, Justin, was there something that happened a couple weeks ago that the governor had a press conference talking about this? What was happening at that press conference? Because you were there and kind of asked her questions about this very topic.
Yeah, so Governor Katie Hobbs has said that they've gotten a hold of this, that the fraud is not happening as much as before. And that's true to an extent where you have less behavioral health fraud investigations, and they're also introducing AI tools to detect the fraud. So ever since this crackdown in 2023, we have seen a big decline in billing for Access members. We've also seen a big decline in suspension. So they've cracked down in that way, but there are still people who do need the help. There's still people that are getting taken advantage of, and they're just moving them from Access to private insurance like Blue Cross Blue Shield, just shifting around and adapting to what's been happening. And AG Mays also had a press conference too. So they've all touted their crackdown on what's been able to happen under the previous regime, Governor Doug Ducey's time.
Gotcha. We want people to watch tonight, obviously, but can you give us a little glimpse into what that victim had to say?
Oh, the victim, not necessarily a victim as far as an Access member, but actually worked for Herd Healthcare. So she was a counselor, I guess you could say, and her ID was taken. So her Social Security and all her information, and an LLC was opened in her name. And so apparently her credit has been damaged. She's dealing with sort of those financial implications when someone touches your credit, and that's in the indictment in this case, that she is a victim of this ID theft.
Did she know what was going on with this Herd Healthcare while she was working there?
She didn't even know that Access had laid down a suspension on them in May 2023. That's when there was a big crackdown. She had no idea. Then people stopped getting paid their paychecks or whatnot, and then things just kind of, the writing was on the wall, and she left. And so she's been a victim in a different way, and she came forward and really tipped us off to the conclusion of this case, this sentencing, which is what, how we got the court documents on the sentencing memorandum and what the state wants. They want 3 years in prison and then 7 years probation for this white collar crime. Basically.
3 years in prison for $33 million.
Potentially, yeah.
And because he pled guilty, will that lessen the sentence?
He pled guilty to 2 charges. That's what's happening here, is that you've got a lesser punishment available. But because he has past charges, a criminal record, that aggravated those aggravating factors. So sometimes in these cases, you'll see probation given. You won't even see prison time for fraud. Yeah, we've seen that a few times.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. This was him walking out of the courthouse that day.
And he did not speak to you at all? No comments at all?
No, actually, he had a lot of family members there. Yeah, his family members didn't, like that we were there, and I don't think they expected it. So they were there thinking he was getting sentenced and maybe taken to prison, so they're all there to say goodbye. But because it was continued, they got to, everyone got to go home, and, we just wanted to ask him some questions, and this is what happened.
Fair enough. Where's that money?
Yeah.
What time does everything run?
We are going to run this report at 5:30 on Fox 10 News, and it'll be all published on fox10phoenix.com, and we have a whole section of the sober living crisis because we've been reporting on this since 2023. So
it's a long time.
All right.
Thank you. Great
Thanks
work.
for coming on. We appreciate it. Anytime you want to come.
Tainita.
I ask him.
This seat is
literally,
open.
do I not ask you once a week at least?
It just depends on what the day is and what's going on. But
I feel like you don't love us.
Wow.
I'd say I don't know about love, but I like you guys.
Look how honest he is, folks. This is the guy you want investigating all the fraud because he is honest, if anything.
I appreciate.
Do you want to do a hot girl walk or?
No, he doesn't need to do that.
Just checking.
All right, we're taking a live look outside on this Tuesday because I did weather yesterday because Crystal had the day off.
You did a great job.
Oh, thanks, Anita. I really appreciate that. Someone did put it in the chat. Yeah, I think Little Philosophy said I did a good job. That I did.
That was a typo? Did you say that?
Ty's mom.
Ty's mom. It was Ty's mom.
Wow, Crystal.
Oh, Crystal's back. Yes, she
Crystal's
is.
back.
Hi, guys.
Still a friend.
What I was trying to get to before you guys just took us out off a tangent
I was complimenting
Thank
you.
is that I was kind of over the moon to see that we were actually going to be below average.
I know.
Now through
91.
Saturday.
I know. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
My computer had frozen, so I was getting to wake back up. I know. I got ready too early. I've been lurking in the corner over there.
Always prepared this one.
But
Always prepared.
Let's rewind. Can we talk a little bit about yesterday?
Yeah,
because
sure.
we did see some of those storms, and we talked about it, that we thought they were going to pop up, and sure enough, they did. And pretty good rain totals for some areas.
Yeah, so there was a few showers that passed by the valley Sunday evening, and then there was a little bit more action, mostly for the high country yesterday, where there were some pretty good thunderstorms, like you said. So I thought we'd start with Maricopa County Flood Control District. They have their rain gauges that pick up rain totals around the valley. Obviously, there's not a lot to be seen on this map, but in the East Valley in the last 3 days, they have picked up a little over 1/10 of an inch in Fountain Hills, a few hundredths of an inch along like the edge of the 101, getting near Scottsdale, which I know you said you guys got some
Sunday
rain.
night, I think it was about 10 o'clock. It woke me up, and I did not. I thought I was dreaming.
And then in Queen Creek, I was also Sunday evening in Queen Creek. They picked up like it was very like light. It was kind of like big slow drops, and then you could see about 2/10 of an inch in parts like the Mesa Tempe area. So they weren't big numbers, but we did get a little bit of rain in the valley. The better numbers were in the high country,
Look
which
at
is what we were
Sedona.
expecting.
Wow.
Yeah, that's where they had all that hail that came down too. We had some cool video from folks. 1 1/4 inch around Sedona, and then more like 2/10 of an inch or so around Payson, just under 1/2 an inch in St. John's. So they weren't the biggest numbers, but it's good to have a taste of moisture because it has been super, super dry recently. So getting any rain has been exciting. And actually the last gasp of that system, as it's been passing through now off to like the northeast of us, is leaving just a couple little showers in parts of Apache County. You can see that far like northeast edge, kind of near the Four Corners region. But for the most part, we have entirely dried out. But like you said, Ty, there's another system that's coming our way already. So the system that passed this weekend dropped our temperatures slightly. We're at 98 yesterday. Today the forecast is 97. And then another system comes into play here as we go through the next few days. And it kind of gets stuck, actually, over California. So between tomorrow and Thursday into Friday, it basically doesn't move, which means it keeps more mild air in place for us. Our temperatures are going to keep dropping. And our winds are going to crank up here the next few days until eventually late Friday into Saturday, this thing moves off to the north.
Little Philosophy was saying it was so windy yesterday, and man, it was. My pool just had all sorts of like nastiness in it from that wind.
My eyes too.
Totally different reasons. The winds yesterday were the outflows from the thunderstorms that were on the Mogollon Rim. The winds ran down the rim and slammed into us in that gusty form. These ones will be because of the storm system, which is why they'll be not like an hour or two in the evening. They'll be throughout the day these next several days. But yeah, the winds are sticking with us for sure. My husband is basically allergic to being in Arizona. He does love it, but he's allergic to all the trees and vegetation here, and he's been like up in the pill. So if you're someone who has a lot of allergies, these winds are probably going to mess with you the next few days, guys. But, you know, at least we could say that the temperatures are going to be dropping with it. I want to get you to the 10-day forecast before we run out of time. So there's the winds for the high country. So if you're in parts of northern Arizona, your gusts could be like 30 to 45 by tomorrow, and then 30 to 40 on Thursday. And then here's that look at the 10-day forecast. So today's 97, but tomorrow's 94. Wow. Thursday 93, Friday 91, and look at the morning temp Friday, 67 degrees. So overall, these are awesome temps before it starts to warm back up Sunday.
91. Do you know what the average is for that Friday?
It's 98 today, so it's probably around 99 by then. I think it's 100 the last day of the month, so right around 99.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where we should be.
Real quick before our show ends, guys, you said you asked Justin every day to come to your show, but you don't.
Oh, we ask you too.
We do ask you.
Every day?
Well,
I can see you at favorites.
Oh, wow.
I only
Picking on us now.
ask him because he says no, because every time we ask you, you say yes. You say absolutely. So it's me giving Justin a hard time saying, Justin, are you going to come on today? Okay.
Always a pleasure.
Will you be on tomorrow?
No. I'm busy.
Thursday.
Okay, fine.
Thursday. All right.
Thursday. How about Friday when it's 91? We'll do like a celebratory.
Oh, yeah, I like